Hello there, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, psychic channel, intuitive astrologer, and soul coach. I'm here with your tarot tip number 23. This one's about our furry friends and how they show up in our card readings. It seems to me that in today's world, pets have become more and more important in people's lives. They certainly are in mine. Perhaps it's because fewer people are having human children, or maybe it's because those furry friends are just so irresistible. For whatever the reason, it's become obvious to me over the last decade or so that we tarot readers need to be able to find people's pets in our reading for them just as easily as we find their children. So in these next few tarot tips, I'm going to be explaining how you can easily spot those pets and give your clients some information about them. In this particular tip, we're going to talk about how to identify the many cards in the deck that refer to pets. Please note, I am basing my insights here on the Rider-Waite Tarot deck and the pictures on it. But if you're using a different deck, these identifiers may be different for you depending on what pictures appear on your cards. I suggest getting out a magnifying glass and examining each of your cards in your own deck to find the hidden pets in them. In general, if your client relates to their pet as their child, the pet could readily appear in their readings as one of the pages in the deck. Just like with human children, the pet would reflect the characteristics and possibly even the birthday of the suit that appears to represent them. For example, a dog or cat may appear in your client's reading as a page of wands, which of course would mean that the dog was very active and playful, not necessarily well behaved, and may even have been born under the sign of Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. So, in identifying the sex of the pet, if the pet is male, the page representing them would likely be either wands or swords. If it's female, it would probably be either cups or pentacles. I suggest that you revisit my tarot tip number 9, number 10, and number 11 for more information on reading pets as pages, if they are actually being treated as the client's actual child. In my own readings, more and more people seem to be relating to their pets as their children, though. So it really is to the pages that I look first to answer any questions about them. But what about all those other pets that people have? How do you find them in the reading? And here's a comprehensive list I'm going to give to you now of cards that represent all kinds of pets and animals from the Rider-Waite deck. Now, just another comment before I give you this list. When I'm doing a reading, I don't mention these things in every reading, but if for some reason my eye is being drawn to one of these symbols that appear in one of the cards I'm going to give you, when I find myself looking at it, that tells me that that particular animal or pet in the person's life is very important right now. So that's when I would discuss it. Or if the client asks me a specific question, I know where to go and look for it. So here goes. In your client's reading, dogs are going to be represented either by the moon, the Fool, or the Ten of Pentacles. In fact, the Ten of Pentacles can represent 2 or more dogs. Wolves or wolf dogs are represented by the moon. Cats, these are represented by the Queen of Wands, the High Priestess, or Strength. Fish, yeah, a lot of people have fish as pets. They would be represented either by the King of Cups, the Page of Cups, or the Knight of Cups. Various types of crustaceans and turtles, and yes, people have those as pets as well, are represented by the moon. Birds, this has always been a big one for me because I love birds. Birds are represented either by the World, the Queen of Swords, the the Star, the Ace of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Swords, who could represent two or more birds, or the Nine of Pentacles, who is in the Rider-Waite deck, the woman standing alone with a bird on her shoulder. That's one of my favorites because for years, people were reading me as that card, and I couldn't understand why until I remembered, yes, I had a parrot that I was very close to for a very long time. And that card very clearly, once I remembered that card very clearly represented me. Rabbits. Yes, rabbits are becoming more and more friendly. Also ferrets, rabbits and ferrets. The Queen of Pentacles or the High Priestess will represent them. Reptiles, including frogs, by the way, would be represented by the Page of Wands, the King of Wands, or the Wheel of Fortune, if it was a Tasmanian devil that we're looking at. Snakes. And yeah, I've known a few people who kept snakes as pets, quite a few as a matter of fact. They're something that some people are just very attracted to have as pets. Please keep them in fish tanks. Keep them safe from the rest of your family. Snakes are represented by the Lovers, the Seven of Cups, or the Wheel of Fortune. Horses, mules, or donkeys. And yes, more and more people, not so much mules and donkeys, but certainly horses, do have horses as pets. The horse, mule, or donkey would be represented by the Six of Wands or any of the knights. Now, if you're looking and you want more information on how to read horses, maybe you have a lot of horse people in your life, then be sure to look back at my tarot tips 9, 10, and 11, because they're going to give you some good interpretations of the knights that are going to help you to interpret a horse, especially if the person is very close to their horse. And again, a lot of horse people do have that favorite special horse. The death of a horse, by the way, could be represented by the death card itself, which displays a horse. Now, lions, big cats, or lion dogs, like Pekingese, like I breed, they are represented by the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, or strength. Bulls and cows and oxen, other horned animals, except for goats, would be represented by the World, the Wheel of Fortune, or the King or Queen of Pentacles. Goats are represented by the Devil or the Queen of Pentacles. Elephants, yeah, elephants turn up in here too. Elephants are represented by the Seven of Pentacles. Now, if you have multiple animals of different types, maybe you're like me and you have a menagerie, a lot of different animals in your household, that can also be shown by the Wheel of Fortune or the World, both of which contain a lot of different animals. A newborn animal might show up as the Three of Pentacles. Now, I do hope that this overview of pets in your client's reading has been helpful and maybe a little fun. Maybe now you're going to see that you've had your own pet turning up in your readings for a long time and not even noticed it. In my next tip, I'm going to be exploring a simple layout that's going to quickly show you your client's pet. You're going to like it, I promise you. And I'll be back soon with your next tip. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye for now.